I drank this juice every day, just 50 mils of it, on top of my dietary reversal protocol. In just 3 months, I completely reversed my carotid plaque 100%, my carotid thickness by 53% on imaging, but I have measurements confirmed on ultrasound. I couldn't believe it, so I repeated it again 3 more times, each time getting better. Today I'm going to show you the one fruit that a scientist spent 25 years proving it can drive reverse cholesterol transport. This has 9 sequential steps in your body's own system for pulling cholesterol out of your arterial plaque. 7 of these steps are activated by a single glass of this juice. Magical. Statin drugs only address 2 steps of reverse cholesterol transport. That is why they can't really reverse plaque well, they just slow it down. In the early 1990s, a biochemist in Israel ran an experiment. He collected dozens of different fruits and fruit juices and tested each one for its ability to protect both LDL and HDL cholesterol from oxidation. Some did something, but nothing out of the ordinary. But one did something remarkable, and that fruit was pomegranate. That scientist was Dr. Michael Avram. He had grown up in the Mediterranean with pomegranates all around him. He trained at MIT and then spent the next 25 years proving what his ancestors already knew. 100 fruits is one clear winner. He tested wine, blueberry juice, acai, dates, all the foods touted to be good for the heart. What Avram discovered is that pomegranate does not work through just one pathway, it works through 7 of the 9 pathways of reverse cholesterol transport. And those 7 are not just a list, they're a chain reaction. The exact biological flywheel your body uses to clear arterial plaque. That system is called reverse cholesterol transport, and here's how it works. Step 1 is when LDL oxidation is blocked. The cascade that builds arterial plaque begins when LDL cholesterol enters your arterial wall and oxidizes it. Macrophages swallow it, and they become something called foam cells. Foam cells are the structural core of plaque. Avram's laboratory demonstrated that pomegranate's phenylhalogens reduce LDL oxidation by up to 73%. And sometimes as high as 90% compared to other antioxidant sources tested in the same experiment. No other fruit came even close. These phenylhalogens, which are antioxidants, sit mostly in the peel and the white pulp of the pomegranate, and some in the aril seeds that most people eat. So juice is the most effective dose because it contains parts of the peel, the white pith, as well as the juice from the arils. So just 50 mils a day of cold-pressed organic pomegranate juice. I drink it twice a day, not just once a day, because I believe it's so effective. And I put some of the arils, 3 teaspoons, in my salad. 73% lower LDL oxidation. Step 2 is PON1 enzyme activation. What's PON1? It stands for paraoxonase 1. Which means that there's more paraoxonase, and they had discovered that this neutralizes insecticides. But then more recently, they found this enzyme directly related and in HDL particle. It's the enzyme that rides on your HDL cholesterol particle and protects it from oxidative damage. So when PON1 is active, HDL functions correctly. It's able to accept cholesterol from the foam cell and carry it away from the plaque. But when PON1 is depleted, HDL is rendered inert, it's dysfunctional. So Avram published a 3-year human clinical trial in clinical nutrition in 2004. Patients with severe carotid artery stenosis from 70% to 90% who consumed daily pomegranate juice, just 50 mils a day, showed up to a 30% reduction in the CMIT, carotid intima media thickness, at 1 year. The placebo control group, on the other hand, their thickness increased by 9% over the 1-year period. Avram, while he did not discover PON1, he had asked a question nobody else had thought to ask. Can you raise PON1 activity with food, and specifically with polyphenol antioxidants in food? His answer was a resounding yes, and pomegranate was the most potent trigger he found amongst all the fruit juices and fruits he compared it against. How does this work? Pomegranate juice raises PON1 liver expression, increases its serum stability by anchoring it to HDL, and amplifies its catalytic activity, which then hydrolyzes the oxidized lipids sitting in LDL before they can be taken up by macrophages. Avram mapped out the entire mechanism. PON1 not only decreases HDL oxidation, but also LDL oxidation. He also discovered PON2 in macrophages, showing that pomegranate polyphenols, the antioxidants, upregulate PON2 expression inside the arterial wall itself by creating a local antioxidant shield right at the site of plaque formation. That's an imaging endpoint, structural reversal on ultrasound, not a biomarker. Step 3, macrophage polarization flipped. So inside your arterial wall, M1 macrophages build plaque and hold cholesterol. M2 macrophages activate the outflow machinery of cholesterol and remove it from the plaque. The ratio between them determines whether your plaque grows or shrinks. So pomegranate's ellagic acid suppresses, this is the antioxidant in pomegranate, suppresses NF-κB signaling. This is the master inflammatory switch inside the M1 macrophage, shifting the balance toward M2 repair. This is the same directional change that dietary nitrate drives through nitric oxide. So pomegranate reaches the same destination, but through a parallel door. 2 macrophages, 1 decision. Step 4. ABCA1 cholesterol efflux is open. This is cholesterol transport out of the plaque back into the blood. For cholesterol to leave the foam cell and enter the transport pathway, it needs a door. That door is the ABCA1 transporter on the macrophage membrane, the outer wall. Without ABCA1 upregulation, the foam cell holds its load regardless of what else you do. So Avram's work showed that pomegranate phenolic compounds upregulate ABCA1 expression on this foam cell. The door for cholesterol transport opens and cholesterol transfers from inside the foam cell onto the HDL. That's the critical handoff. Everything downstream depends on this step completing. Step 5 is eNOS nitric oxide being restored. So endothelial nitric oxide synthase is the enzyme that produces nitric oxide from the cells lining your arteries. It dilates blood vessels, it reduces arterial stiffness, it reinforces the M2 macrophage shift, and it prevents platelet aggregation. A randomized controlled trial by Sumner and colleagues at the University of California, published in the American Journal of Cardiology in 2005, 45 patients with coronary artery disease, pomegranate juice or placebo for 90 days. Stress-induced ischemia improved in the pomegranate group on nuclear perfusion imaging. Blood flow to the heart measurably improved. 90 days, your heart can feel this. Step 6. PCSK9 is suppressed. PCSK9 is the enzyme that destroys LDL receptors on your liver cells. Fewer receptors means slower LDL clearance. The most expensive cholesterol drug on the market are injectable PCSK9 inhibitors, or PATHA, over $1,000 a month. They target precisely this mechanism. So pomegranate polyphenols suppress PCSK9 expression, preserving receptor density and accelerating LDL clearance from the bloodstream. Just $4 a month. Step 7, there's a lot of steps here. Bear with me. SRB1, scavenger receptor B type 1. This sits on the liver. SRB1 is the liver receptor that receives cholesterol-loaded HDL and excretes it as bile. Without SRB1 activation, cholesterol loaded onto the HDL in step 4 has nowhere to go, nowhere to exit. So the flywheel stalls at its final turn unless this step happens. Avram's research demonstrated that pomegranate consumption enhances hepatic cholesterol uptake through improved SRB1 function. The circuit finishes. Cholesterol that was inside your arterial foam cells that transferred to the HDL is now being excreted by your liver. So let's recap. There's a lot of steps here. This is why pomegranate is so effective. So pomegranate blocks LDL oxidation before foam cells form. Then it activates PON1 so HDL stays functional. It flips macrophages from M1 to M2 to reverse cholesterol transport. It opens up ABCA1 transporters so cholesterol exit from the foam cell onto the HDL. It restores nitric oxide so your endothelium works again. And it suppresses PCSK9 on your liver so that the receptor SRB1 clears LDL faster. It activates SRB1 so the cholesterol-loaded HDL finally docks at the liver and gets excreted. 7 steps, 25 years of human evidence, one scientist who grew up surrounded by this fruit and spent his career proving what his ancestors already knew. Your body has a system. You just have to stop blocking it.
These videos save lives. Like, subscribe, share it with someone you love, and ask your questions below. Together, we will save lives. For my up-to-date learnings and more, visit me at ham.com.